So working on this Swift code again. The other day, I mentioned I had never heard of this, so I found this gameplay kit, and this is the Hacking with Swift guy, and he had a note here on how to do um, generate terrain, and he's doing a grid. So let's see if I can show this code here. All right, so basically, if you do that code, it's in the main scene. I'll kind of show you. Basically, he shows you how to make a tile set, which is a grid tile set, and literally, like when you create it, a lot of times when you create stuff with Xcode, right, or any other editor, they'll create a stubs for you. So it makes some sand, some cobblestone, and some water. Look how this thing kind of shivers. So anyway, I think currently I've got it here. Yeah, so I'm in the grid mode, and basically this is, I kind of understand what's going on here to a degree, just by experimentation mostly. He's going to load 3 of those tiles: water, grass, and sand. Then he's going to set the sand as the bottom layer, and he's doing a fill, so that's everything. If you do this, literally you'll get the sand result that he talks about here, right? Then he talks about this. I was looking this up, this Perlin noise source. Didn't know about this. This is also interesting. Some guy in the 80s created a noise source over 2D that will make terrain. It's not like it's pure random noise. So anyway, so that's kind of cool. I was looking through it because I was trying to figure out how, like every time I did it, it was coming up the same, and I didn't see a seed. Got me, but this looks like this might be kind of like the standard seed. I don't know. I didn't like read everything there. But anyway, so he's going to do this noise map down here, and or here, pardon me. So he's setting a range. He calls this, when I looked it up, this is some kind of factor that plays a part. He mentioned, there is a note there. Let's see what it says. I can't remember. I should look it up. It was in his guide. How likely to change? So rougher terrain would be for higher values. All right, so it's the same every time. So I guess I could vary it down, but it's not important at this point. I got bigger problems to figure out. These are 2D vectors, right? So it's got an X and a Y. We're in a grid. It's an X and a Y. And he's saying that's the map. And then, so let's look at this cut. Let's go to the regular grid first. We're already in it. Okay, so then he had some code where you could add it directly, and when this auto mapping is true, I turned this off, and then I left it on, I turned it off, and I put the code that he's talking here, which would say, for a specific row and column, you're going to set the thing at that point, and you're going to set the tile group right here. You're going to make a water tile. I never saw that happening, and what I'm thinking is maybe because this auto mapping was true, then you have to have all of them in place because it has to know how to, what the adjacents are. I don't know. But I didn't get that to work. I literally set true and false and did those steps and did not do this, which was all of them, right? Anyway, just to show it to you again, it's the same every time. And you can see how it's kind of shimmering. If you turned off the faults, it would look the same, but these wouldn't shimmer. So next to the water edges. All right, so let's turn this off. Not sure why when I close that I still have to hit stop on the debugger, but I was like, well, you know, I want to do hexagons. Don't know much about the API. By the way, if you, let's go to this for a second. If you look up the definition of this, and this is one of my problem with doing this code, I'm like, oh wow, there's no comments. I don't know what it is. I do see that seed, so I could change it. You know, like maybe I could set the seed and it would come up a different terrain map every time, just, you know, just for grins. But I don't know what these values should be. Maybe if I go to the documents, it might be there, but it would have been better just have a little bit of docs right here in the code. All right, so let's do the next thing. Let's get rid of this. We're going to run the hex. So on the hexagonal grid, I tried. Even though I knew it was X and Y, I wasn't even expecting it to work. I was kind of surprised that it did work to a degree, but it didn't work the same. It was like you could do this, and if you did just that, setting the base tile, and here I'm going to do water, grass, forest. I guess I should show you the tile set. So this is the hex tile set. So it has the same kind of stuff. The water doesn't shimmer, so it's kind of a drag. If you come back over here and you click on, let's say like upper left edge, and you expand it, it's got this thing. I can't add to it. Maybe this is an animated gift. I don't know. But that's that. Come down here. It doesn't have the same kind of structure. You have a tile variance, a group. So I'm not real sure what these pieces are. Maybe that's if it's an interior or something, or this is interior edge and exterior edge. But just like I said, just winging it. Leroy Jenkins. So I'm just going to cut that out, right? And so we know that this thing is going to vary -1 to +1. We'll just say if it's in the outer, it will be the negative extreme, it'll be water. The upper extreme will be forest. We could even have mountains. Yeah, whatever that is. So maybe you could say if it was greater, it would be, let's just go ahead and do that. Real quick. I wish I could do the other one, but let's just say this. Control C. I believe it will still take the first one it finds. We'll leave that as forest, and then we'll set this as mountain, and we'll have to add a mountain tile. Is that mountains or mountains over here? It's mountain. All right, let's see what this will do. So now we don't see any mountains. I was hoping to see 3 different variants. You got 1, 2, 3. I was hoping to get 4. So let's go back down. Will this actually work? So if it's greater, maybe we do have to do, and is it and? I thought that might actually be. If it was C, I would say it's definitely, you're going to have to put all the ranges, but I know that, is it and, like so? Yep. All right, let's see what this will do. Yeah, there we go. So then we got 4. And it is, like, it's kind of the same. So we'll change, we'll do one other trick here real quick. Let's change that factor that we were talking about. Let's go to 9.5, make it even less random. I was hoping it might cut that out, make that a solid. Let's lower it. Let's go to 7.5 and see if it's more varied than what we were expecting the other way. Oh, okay. Yeah, so if it's lower, it's less abrupt, so you have less of those changes. So but that doesn't look as real. Let's put this back up to 9. Let's try. Let's do 9.7 just for rounds. Yeah. I would like to get it even less of the mountains. So let's do this. Let's leave this at 9. Let's just make that mountain a little less. So let's go. We want mountains to be very rare. So let's make this greater than 7.5. And then do we want to make this forest? We'll say 7.5, and then we'll make so there's more grass. Make it even more grass. Yeah. But then now we really need to make the mountains less, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, the bottom line is I couldn't do it the other way. It's not shimmering, and I thought maybe that was because of the auto, because I saw the other one not shimmering enough. I think that's literally because those tiles don't have an animation built into them. But that's that. That's all I know at this point. But it's it's something to do each day. So. Woo. So it's in, and the nice thing about this is this little UI, it's there. I don't have any unit test for it, but I said like create some test, and yeah, and so all that collapses, and then the regular GURPS code. It's kind of I didn't realize I put the sample maneuvers up above. Oh yeah, so that's up because it has to be used by both the test and that GURPS code. But in reality, now that I'm looking at it, this should have been part of that. Well, I didn't do any on the other code there, but that's that. We'll upload this. One other thing I just want to say about this. I only did the 15 days of this, right? I did the 15 and then I hopped out of it, but I will come back because they're supposed to be making changes. One of the things I think that's interesting is he talks about every time, let's click on the day, or maybe here. Let's see. Yeah, guys, because he's selling books, and I think it's kind of interesting the way he does this, right? I mean, he gives you a lot of stuff for free, but he does sell books, right? And then if you look at the days, let's see if we can go to one. Like, oh, he has Mark Twain. Yeah, getting ahead is getting started. He talks about share your progress. I think that's kind of a cool thing, because that reminds me of the Napoleon Hill thing that he talked about, where somebody was getting marketing by, it's a win-win situation, right? He's saying share your progress, what you're doing, but as you're doing it, you're also advertising to use his stuff. I mean, it's kind of genius, right? Or it's not obvious. I never thought about it till I read that book, and then when I saw it here, recognizing it. Anyway, so that's that. Oh, over here. Let's see. Over here, I did look that up. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, octave count. I don't know what's a good value. Persistence. I don't know what the default is. Right. But anyway, we've got that in. And it's just a noise generation algorithm. The other thing, or visualize, so you could visualize it. I'd like to figure that out from this, because if you look, when he did this, at one point, yeah, he displayed that map. I don't even know enough at this point how to do that. Like I said, but anyway, it's good stuff. I'm learning. Can't know it all in one day. So let's stop this.